Hello and welcome to ChrisCrossMedia. My name is Chris, and today I'm starting a new series I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and it's called Scrapped. It's a show where I give you guys the history, current status, and possible future of various products like movies, TV shows, places, toys, and games that were, well, unfortunately, scrapped. And today I'll talk about the canceled Disney theme park of the 90s. Let's all stand and take our hats off for Disney's America, where dreams come true. Sort of. In 1955, Walt Disney created a land that would spark the imagination of millions. On a hot July day, Disneyland was open to the public, and from then on, the world would never be the same. The land of Disney has since become one of the most visited vacation spots ever. It turns out, Walt's insane vision of bringing his animated features to life into a theme park where families can come together was a bona fide success. But you guys all knew this, and to this day, there are 6 Disney theme park resorts around the world, spanning from California to Tokyo. That's 12 theme parks in total, and countless hotels. Honestly, too many to count. I mean, seriously though, quick shout out to Disney's Animal Kingdom. Yeah, that place is awesome. I secretly love you. And on top of all of this, the newest Disney theme park resort in Shanghai will be unleashed for people to create countless memories and spend $10 on a churro with chopsticks. But this begs the question, has there been any Disney theme parks that were scrapped? And how many have been on the chopping block? What would they have been like? Where would they go? What happened? Well, to answer your question, sir or madam, yes, there have been several, some of which I hope see the light of day someday. And while Disney is also known for their quality when it comes to the resorts and theme parks, I honestly question how they could have pulled this one off. And the one I am speaking of is Disney's America. A Disney theme park that celebrates the richness of diversity, spirit, innovation, and history of the United States of America. I'm telling you, this is gonna be huge. Officially announced November of 1993, Disney's America theme park would have been built on 3,000 acres in Haymarket, Virginia. The location was chosen with care by the Disney Company. Located close to the nation's capital, this unique Disney experience was designed to complement annual visitors making their way to Washington, D.C., the Civil War battlegrounds, museums, and other historical monuments. The park would offer guests shows and interactive experiences about the history, present, and future of America by living it, with the coined slogan, "Recall the past, live the present, and dream the future." It's catchy. After examining secret documents found at the Disney Vault, the plans called for 9 distinct themed areas designed to represent a timeline starting from the mid-1860s and going back in history or forward into the future. There was the Crossroads USA, a Civil War era village which acted as the hub of the theme park, much like Main Street to Disneyland. This area offered guests the chance to experience a replicated steam train from the 1840s that would circle the entire park. So far, I'm on board. It's pretty cool. All aboard! Let's go! Do you guys hear that? Do you think you own whatever land you land on? Maybe that the Earth is just a dead thing you can claim?
Well, then this new area is just for you!
Simply called Native America. This part of the park would bank on the newly animated feature Pocahontas by recreating Powhatan Native American Village. I don't know if I said that right. Now, apparently, several mid-Atlantic tribes of Native America would be represented with interactive experiences, exhibits, and who are we kidding here? People want thrills. People want to scream. This is the 90s, man. Mickey, what do you got for us?
Okay, first, calm down, and how about a whitewater river raft ride?
You mean the Lewis and Clark expedition?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. We're gonna need some fast passes. And then there's the Civil War Fort. It's a fun little area that would recreate an authentic fort with a replica of a battlefield, providing Civil War reenactments. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Goofy all decked out as General Robert E. Lee or something. Do your duty in all things. You can never do more. You should never do less. You know, there was also going to be recreated battleship battles of the Monitor and the Merrimack, where water fights would have been fought on Freedom Bay for a nighttime spectacular. Okay. I mean, hey, kids, let's finish the night with this exciting night show with bodies blown to pieces. Hey, let's come back for Christmas. I want to watch Queen Elsa take out the Titanic. And then moving on, then there's We the People, which features a replica of the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, the gateway to America for many immigrants during the 19th and early 20th century. Music, restaurants, and a musical show about immigration starring the Muppets. I'm not even kidding, the Muppets, which actually sounds pretty fantastic.
Next, we have the State Fair,
which would recreate 1930s Coney Island, filled with carnival rides such as a 60-foot Ferris Ferris wheel, and a wooden roller coaster, and also a live baseball show, I guess? I don't know, isn't that just baseball? And then there's the family farm, which gives park goers the opportunity to experience food production and the food industries, as well as having the chance to make ice cream and milk a cow. Get in there, son, squeeze it. Yeah, good boy. Not far from there, you'll enter President's Square, a nice little tribute celebrating the efforts of America's founding fathers and the birthplace of democracy, with a recreation of the classic Walt Disney World show, Hall of Presidents. Next, we have the Enterprise, and so sorry, Star Trek fans, no, this is the American small little factory town with an attraction called the Industrial Revolution. No, this isn't the ride where children work in mills, long hours, getting their limbs chopped off. Seriously, guys, this stuff happened. Like, look in a history book. Instead, the Industrial Revolution is an e-ticket roller coaster attraction where guests would ride through hear this, ride through a turn-of-the-century steel mill with complete blast furnace. Okay, that's pretty close to fire. Okay, well, hold on a second. Assuming we don't die while riding this thing, it looks pretty cool. And last, but certainly not least, is Victory Field, where guests can experience what American soldiers faced during 2 world wars. Yikes! The area would be themed after a typical airfield, complete with hangars, which would feature a virtual reality attraction on military flight called Soarin'. And while that's pretty much all that's known about Disney's America, there was plans for a water park, a 27-hole golf course, 300 campsites, and a downtown Disney area. In addition, the park would feature an on-site hotel themed after a 19th century Civil War era lodge. So Disney was pretty much going all out on this idea. You see, Disney's CEO, big boy Michael Eisner, had this plan he coined the Disney era, a proposal to double shareholders' income by aggressively expanding the company's park and resort division. At the first shareholders meeting in 1990, Eisner announced that Disney would add nearly 50 new attractions to its parks in Florida and California, while expanding both resorts and finally opening Euro Disney to the public. Unfortunately, when Euro Disney initially opened its gates to its Paris audience in 1992, it was considered a major flop. I mean, with attendance being half of what the company had projected. That's not very good. And this was threatening to taint Eisner's golden dream. Poor Mikey. It was then Disney executives and Imagineers began to look for other ways to develop smaller scale theme park ideas. With the Disney Renaissance in full effect, Disney's new animated feature Pocahontas was on its way for a 1995 release, and Eisner had American history on the brain. Building a Disney theme park based on American history seems like a natural extension to the company's focus on children and education, a perfect way for marrying our self-interest with broader public interests. And while this is true, Pocahontas is a true Disney classic, Disney's America, however, would not be the answer the Mouse House was looking for. In fact, it was actually considered one of the company's worst ideas and most public failures. But now it's a footnote on the company's history, mostly forgotten, unless you decided to watch this episode of Scrapped. New episodes every Monday. Check out the previous episode where I talk about, Eisner really did love this idea. Bless his little heart. He believed it could work. He rallied the support of the then outgoing governor of Virginia and the incoming governor, George Allen. Nice work, Eisner. I mean, you get a gold star. Also, Disney worked really closely with different historical societies to make sure the park represented American history properly. And that's always great. The project was given the green light. Grants were given by the Virginia state government, and everything was a go. So everything's looking pretty good so far, right? So while Eisner and company are patting themselves on the back, unfortunately, not everyone was so happy. The Virginia citizens didn't really want to have a giant mouse in the area. Nearly 3,000 protesters staged a march against the park. A strong and rather well-funded opposition quickly rose, recruiting the help of well-known historians, celebrities, as well as powerful Washington insiders. Disney was quickly backed into a corner. So what was Disney to do? Frantically, Disney Imagineers explored all sorts of ideas to make this project more palatable to those opposed. They quickly came up with the solution and idea of retheming Disney's America into Disney's American Celebration, scrapping most of the historical aspects of the park and using more of an entertainment approach to encourage guests about what brought America and its vision to life. It wasn't too long after that Eisner really started to get cold feet. He couldn't escape the negative publicity, and while weighing the odds, he began to see that building a Disney theme park in Virginia just would not benefit the company. For instance, Virginia has very cold winter seasons, and while originally projected to have the park closed for about 2 months out of the year, they quickly realized they would be most likely close to 3 to 5 months out of the years, and that's not good. With a growing bill of over $600 million to be opened by 1999, Disney's America wouldn't really see a profit for at least a decade. It was then, September 28, 1994, just 6 weeks after the announcement of the park, Michael Eisner announces that the Walt Disney Company would be scrapping its plans to build a theme park in Virginia. And that seems just about it. I mean, Disney's America dream is dead, or scrapped. But wait, what is this? Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, Disney's America burst with new life. Well, shortly it did. I mean, it totally did. And let me explain. So the Walt Disney Company was looking for ways to expand its Disneyland park in California and make it more of a resort-type experience, much like Disney World in Orlando. The answer to this problem was Westcott. What is Westcott? Well, it's basically based on Disney World's Epcot, but it's in the West. However, while this project looked great on paper, this $3 billion project started to get questioned and was eventually pushed aside and scrapped. But Eisner didn't want to give up on making Disneyland a resort property. In fact, many toyed with the idea of just buying an existing theme park and just retheming it with that old Disney flair, because that's a super cost-effective way to get things done. It's like Spark Notes, but for theme parks.
I say, look here, the Nuts family is tired of running their theme park and are looking for the highest bidder.
One look at this replica of Philadelphia's Independence Hall, which sits towards the Knott's parking lot, and oh my god, wouldn't it be a grand old idea to retheme Knott's Berry Farm with that awesome Disney's America idea we had? Huh? This actually sounds like it could work. I mean, it's cost effective. The plan was to retheme the park in segments while keeping it actually running, making Disney quite a big chunk of change. But it faced several bumps in the road. For instance, a good question was, how were they going to transport guests back and forth from park to park? Now, there was the idea of making a monorail, but that would have been about 7 miles in length, and that was crazy expensive, and would also face several legal issues to get that passed. And then there's our buddy Eisner, who disliked the idea from the get-go. He didn't want the Disney brand to be associated with other existing theme parks. He wanted Disney to be original, especially if it was going to be associated with Walt Disney's original theme park, which I agree. And if that wasn't enough, the Knotts family wasn't too keen of the idea of Disney coming in and ripping their legacy to pieces, so they quickly rejected the offer. And once again, Disney's America was scrapped. Now, don't be sad, because one thing that Walt Disney Imagineers love to do is revive old ideas, and while I'm not holding my breath for yet another resurgence of Disney's America, a lot of the ideas that were designed for the park are now seen around the world at other Disney theme parks. For instance, you remember that Lewis and Clark river raft ride I was talking about earlier? Well, that was later redesigned for Disney's California Adventure as Grizzly River Run, and Disney's Animal Kingdom as Cali River Rapids, both great rides. How about the old wooden roller coaster for the State Fair? That was later built as California Screamin', and Soarin' was, well, eventually rethemed as Soarin' and built at various Disney theme parks around the world. And who knows, I mean, there could be other ideas from Disney's America that could make their way into future Disney attractions. But you know what, guys? Until then, let's just all wait in line at the Pirates of the Caribbean. Step aboard that tiny little ship and just relax. You know, take a stroll down that bayou. Drop into the Caribbean, where dead men tell no tales. And that is how Disney's America was, well, scrapped. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the second episode of Scrap. If you like this, hit the subscribe button. I promise you'll find something you like. There are so many other scrapped ideas I have been researching. Like in the next episode, I'll tell you guys all about these scrapped Coca-Cola flavors and products. Some pretty tasty ones, let me tell you. And if you didn't catch the first episode of Scrapped, I talked all about this never-released Jurassic Park animated series. So check that out if that fits your fancy. And if there's a scrapped idea you'd like us to tackle, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. As always, follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and just random things I post on the daily. I hope to see you guys next time. I'm Chris, and you've just been Chris Cross. Peace out. Do your duty in all things, and you can never do more if... do your duty. Hey there. Do your duty in all things. You can never do more. You do never with to do like... How the fuck do you say that?